Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for joining me on our regular Sunday. Today I have an old new stock Citizen watch. I'm labeling this thing the Globetrotter. That's the nickname that I'm giving this thing. And it's a really interesting watch. At least I think it's interesting. I don't think it was a huge seller for Citizen. And I think that's because of a couple different things. But anyway, this is model number CB0220-85E. And guys, this thing is kind of a ghost. It's really hard to find. And I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of like it. Anyway, let's check this thing out. Now, I would tell you to check out my Amazon shopping channel to try to find this, but it's actually sold out on Amazon. But you can also check my channel for other watches I've reviewed on the site. As y'all know, I get a really small little commission if you buy anything from my Amazon store. So whenever you do that, I definitely appreciate it. Anyway, this is, as you can tell, this is not North America Citizen packaging. And there's another way you can tell when I show you the watch. This watch was not meant for the North American market. And as I said earlier, it's kind of a ghost. It's not on any of Citizen's global, like they have roughly like 20 or 25 global websites, like, you know, Europe and Japan and all these other different countries. This is not on there. I don't think they're obviously making this anymore. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that here in just a second. Anyway, here is the watch. It's a good looking watch, man. It's a little blingy for me personally. And I think that might be one of the reasons why it wasn't a huge seller. Not that, you know, blingy watches can't sell. It's just a tiny bit hard to read because you've got the sunburst dial, then you've got all the blingy indexes. And I'll tell you up front, it is an absolute pain in the ass to set this thing. I think that might be one of the other reasons why it wasn't a massive seller. But I think it's overall, it's a good looking watch. It's got tons of technology inside. Anyway, so there is your first look. And it took me literally, guys, it probably took me a good 30 minutes to set this thing because it's not very intuitive. You definitely have to have the manual. And I'll make sure to put that manual, I'll make sure to put a link to that manual down there in the description field for you. Anyway, as you can tell, again, if you notice, the case back has got the old Citizen Eco Drive Globe logo. You know, most watches, Citizen watches now, at least all that I know of, any of them that come to the United States, North America, do not have that big laser etched kind of old school Citizen Eco Drive logo. So there you go. That's my first cue was that. Second cue was the box. Anyway, so as usual, I'll give you all the 7 specs you need to know, and then we'll talk more about this kind of a unicorn watch, man. It's really interesting. Anyway, you're looking at a 42 millimeter stainless steel case. It's only 10 millimeters thick. It's 47.5 millimeters lug to lug. Comes on a 22 millimeter stainless steel bracelet. Water resistance is 100 meters, which is 330 feet. You got the H145 movement with about a 6-month power reserve and then about a 2-year power reserve in power save mode. And you do get a nice sapphire crystal. So again, guys, this is one of those watches where I think it only sold for a couple years. Really nice bracelet, by the way. Yeah, it only sold for a couple years. I don't know if it was a big hit or not, but it's just an interesting watch. Again, an absolute pain to set. But let's just go over the basics of the watch first. So you've got a lot of polished surfaces all over this thing. You do get a stamped scissor clasp. I mean, it's not a super expensive watch. I think the list on this thing is what, 550? Yeah, 550 bucks. I got this for right under $300. But again, a lot of polished surfaces. I wish they would have done, again, something with that scissor clasp. It looks like it's a nice polished center links, and then brushed outer links. The case, again, it's got a lot of bling to it, a lot of polish. The dial itself, it's got really, you can see those facets kind of shining in the light on those indexes. Really highly polished. You got the inner chapter ring. It's got all the different time zones of the world. You got that red pop on that second hand. Of course, it says radio controlled, all that good stuff, Eco Drive. You have a decent date window over there at 3 o'clock, which is nice. Not a screw down crown, just a push-pull crown. Then you have this button right here. Now, if you press this button, now I'm not going to go into all the settings and all of that type of stuff because, again, absolute pain in the ass to set this thing. But just the basics are you basically control everything and set everything by either this crown or this push button. So anyway, you check the push button. Now, when you first push this button down here at 4 o'clock, if the hand goes counterclockwise for a quarter of a turn, that means the battery's low. Then after it does that, it tells you whether it got the radio signal that previous night. It tries at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then it keeps trying, I think, for 2 or 3 times, like every hour, and then eventually you'll get it. So let me go ahead and push this button, and I'll show you what it does. So see how it went backwards for like a quarter of a turn? Now it's pointed to no because it did not get that radio signal. If you want to manually go ahead and initiate a radio reception, just press and hold this button for I think 5 seconds. There you go. Now it's pointing right in the middle there to RX, which means receive. And it's going to try to receive that signal. Of course, it's not going to be able to receive that signal because it's the daytime. It's best to try to get these signals at night. Again, early in the morning. So it'll keep trying if I let it go. Eventually, it'll probably point to no, and then it'll just go back to regular timekeeping. But I can just go ahead and push this button right here, and that will cancel. That'll cancel that reception. So a good looking watch for sure. Absolutely, I love the handset. Love that red second hand. And it's not, I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's not difficult. It just takes a long time to kind of figure out that manual and kind of get used to, what you have to do. Because there's a combination of pulling stuff out, pushing stuff in, pushing this button. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I'll tell you the truth. But, not undoable. You could definitely do it, but you're going to spend some time with that manual for sure. So again, that's really about it for this one. It's kind of a ghost watch, to tell you the truth. And, you can find them on eBay. Again, I think I might have bought the last one on Amazon. And again, they're right around $260, $270 with tax if you want to get one of these things. It's a good looking watch for sure. And Citizen, and one other thing I want to tell you before I tell you about Citizen, if you look at the handset, look how accurate that second hand is hitting those minute marks. It is absolutely perfect. Amazing how good it is at hitting those minute marks. Really, really nice. Got a nice power reserve, good looking watch, and this really is a set it and forget it. You're also going to have to set the leap year in the calendar. That's kind of a pain in the butt to do that, but you can do it. And guys, that's really about it for this one. Again, I would tell you to go over to my Amazon channel and pick one of these up, but I think they're actually sold out. But I will make sure to put, if you do have one of these, I'll make sure to put that manual down there in the description field. If any of y'all do have this, what a pain it is to set. But for some of those of you that are going to try to buy this watch and find it on eBay or some other website, I'll make sure to put that manual down there because you're definitely going to need it. So guys, let me go ahead and try this thing on real quick. It fits great. I will tell you that. It's a nice fitting watch. Feels good on the wrist. Not too heavy. About 146 grams, which I think is a nice weight for a watch. For some reason, I can't get this thing on here. Come on now. All right. Put that back there. All right. Let's get this thing on. Oh, yeah, it feels great, man. God, it feels wonderful on the wrist. Perfect amount of play. I could maybe tighten it up just a smidge, but that's a perfect amount of play. Let me go ahead and kill the studio lights. Let me kill these monitors. And then we will show you the Lume here. Again, this is my second review in 4K. Tell me what y'all think. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep doing it. I think I figured out the best 4K parameters for these videos where the file size is not too big. Anyway, here you go. Got that famous Cobalt Citizen Lume, which I know is some sort of Super-LumiNova, I believe. There you go. Actually, this isn't the Cobalt version. This is just the green version. Really, really nice. This watch is really, even in darkness, it's really, really blingy, man. It's super shiny. All right, so there you go. There is the Lume. Let's go ahead and cut everything back on. Again, if you want to get one of these, I'll post that link where I got it from the Amazon site. It says sold out on Amazon's page, so you might not be able to get one. They're on eBay. They're on a whole bunch of European watch websites, because again, this is a European model. So there are a whole bunch of those on there. Would I get one over in Europe? I don't know. They're going to be a lot more expensive. But anyway, that's up to you, man. But guys, it's been about it for this one. Again, tell me what y'all think of this thing. I really appreciate you checking it out. And as always, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell if you like my content. And I hope you do. And I've got something really cool coming up next week from Japan. A watch made in Japan by a kind of a boutique mom and pop company in Japan. But I think the watch is absolutely fascinating. I think you're going to love it. Anyway, guys, it's been about it for this one. I will see you on the next review. Take care. Bye-bye.